What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 10-7 MMA. It's your mom's and your girl's favorite MMA YouTube show. I'm DS, and I'm here with Dino Bam Bam.
What's going on, Dino?
Shit, we got another trash-ass card for you that we're going to be covering today. I'm sorry, it's not a great card.
No, yeah. I never say that cards are bad.
Yeah, I know.
You'll kind of
it's not great for our channel to say that cards are going to be trash. But listen, you watching it? Then fucking watch this. Right?
Like, what's the saying? You polish a turd, it's still a turd, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
But it is. You know, we're always going to keep it real with you guys. And on that note, you guys can keep it real with us by doing what?
A couple things that you guys can do to keep it real with us. First and foremost, you can hit the little like button. You can ring the little bell. That's going to let you know when our videos drop. You can also follow us on Instagram at the107MMA, the same way it's spelled on this channel. Speaking of this channel, we're gaining a little bit of traction. We had some shit talking going on our last video.
Yeah, Ariel Hawani Burner was on our last video.
And maybe, right, because there's some suspicious-ass accounts that were started a week apart, 11 years ago, all these accounts talking
this
shit.
This man did some detective work. Just we're not going to get too far into it, but just quickly let him know what you found out about the accounts that were talking shit about us. And that's fine. You don't need to agree with us. We're all just human. We're all just human beings here, right? And we're doing this because we love it, right? We're not doing this for any other reason other than that. I love this guy. I love this sport. It's the best sport in the world. But what did you find out about those accounts?
So those accounts are made like a week apart from each other, 11 years ago. Very suspicious that 3 random accounts will be, made at the same exact damn time that long ago. They're based in Canada. Yeah. It's a little fishy. So, yeah.
Also, I understand not disliking Ariel Hawani, but who's out here, going to bat for him, So, anyway, let's jump right into this card. Yep. We've got 12 fights on the docket. Obviously, the main event is Vicente Luque versus Rafael dos Anjos. Are you on your phone right now?
Because my notes for the first 2 amazing fights are actually on my phone here.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Some news came out not long ago that Vicente Luque actually had a brain bleed after the Jeff Neal fight. Yeah. So that's not great,
Yep.
But we'll get to that fight obviously at the end of this video. But let's jump right into the first fight of the night, and it's your girl, Juliana. Actually, you know what? She's a y'all's girl. Juliana Miller.
Y'alls can have her.
Is a y'all's girl for sure. If anybody is, as far as the women fighters go, she is. She's fighting Luana Santos. What do you think about this incredible way to kick off this card, Dino Bam Bam?
Amazing way to start this card. Juliana Miller, we've talked about her a couple times, right? I think, twice now?
Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself for picking her against Veronica Hardy. She is just so cute.
Yeah.
And that alone, had I trusted my heart, I would have picked her. But
fair.
Yeah.
Shout out Veronica Hardy. Shout out Dan Hardy. Great podcast they do.
Absolutely.
A little better than ours.
For now.
For now, but we're coming for that spot. Anyways, she's not that good, Juliana Miller. Just keeping it straight, keeping it a buck. She's not that good. She is a grappler at heart. That's what she wants to do. Shout out 10th Planet, I guess. I have their sticker on my laptop here. But she just comes forward. She's aggressive as hell. She swings wild. There's no technique in anything that she does on the feet or on the ground. But she's got heart. So I guess if you're trying to find a silver lining, it's that. She has heart and she's aggressive. That's really all I have to say about her. Nobody on that Ultimate Fighter season was that impressive to me, and we've said that a bunch of times. So here's what it is. Something's going on here. Either the Ultimate Fighter's terrible.
It is.
Or this woman that was 2-1 professionally won the Ultimate Fighter. So it either speaks shitty on women's MMA in general, or it speaks bad on the Ultimate Fighter.
Her existence speaks bad for most things in MMA, I would say at this point. So
yeah, not a big fan. She's taking on Luana Santos. She's 5-1. She's coming from the LFA. She's a slick grappler. She's got a judo background, which is more than you can say about Juliana.
National judo champion.
Which is way more than you can say about Juliana Miller, who comes with what background?
I don't really know.
Nothing.
Yeah.
She's just
She's 3-2 professionally.
Right. She fights like a drunk, angry guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm picking the newcomer here, probably by decision, just because she has something to fall back on if shit goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, Juliana Miller is at least tough. I give her that. I think I've heard before that she had a rough childhood, a rough upbringing, or
Me too, dog.
I mean, right. Get in line, But jokes aside, Miller may be pound for pound the worst fighter on the entire roster. I'm sorry, she's not good. She's 3-2. She has like weird fidgety movements, and worst of all, she stays almost completely squared up the entire time. When you're squared up like that, like you have such a big canvas to get hit. Your body, your head, like it's all open for business. So Luana Santos, only 23 years old, only one loss on her record. She's coming from LFA, which is obviously a very respectable promotion. She's a good grappler, man. I mean, she's a national judo champion. I do believe that she's going to be able to use that, and I think she'll be able to get it to the ground at will for the most part. She has a decent understanding of striking too, from what I've seen based on her tape.
It's nothing special, the striking.
It's nothing special, but she's young enough. I mean, and obviously she comes from. Anytime you have a specialist, right, coming from a very specific background, any strides that they're making are positive, right? Exactly. She's so young where she could be noticeably better than the last time out. I'm not saying her striking is any special. Juliana Miller maybe has the better striking. She's so squared up. She doesn't have like the natural know-how for me. Like it hasn't clicked for her. So I'm gonna go Luana Santos by decision, and that's really all I gotta say about it. Moving on to the next fight of the night, it's another women's fight. It's Montserrat Ruiz, used to be Montserrat Conejo, and I had a hell of a time just trying to find her fights for that reason. She's taken about 2 years off, almost exactly. She is really tiny. She's 5 foot tall, and she has a 61-inch reach. Yeah, 61-inch reach. Super tiny. But she is a beast wrestler, man. And she's a little tank, you know? Mm-hmm. So, she's a 7-time national wrestling champion in Mexico. So, it's no secret what she's going to want to do.
Of course.
The issue for me with Montserrat Ruiz is that every time, even in her professional MMA, UFC fights that we've seen, she is able to get the opponent to the ground because she has such good wrestling. Yeah. But she doesn't have like a great understanding, in my opinion, of how to deal damage from top, right? She just kind of holds you there in that like scarf hold or in like a modified side control.
Yeah.
You're not doing any damage. So for me, you look at somebody like Jacqueline Amorim, her opponent, she has finished pretty much all of her fights. So the one thing that gives me some pause about Amorim is the fact that she lost to Sam Hughes. I don't think super highly of Sam Hughes as a fighter, in this division. So that's the one thing that kind of, stands out to me. But for me, what I could see happening here is Montserrat getting the fight to the ground, but she's not really a finisher. She's not the one that deals out damage. She doesn't even really go for submissions like that.
Yeah.
Amorim has the much better jiu-jitsu. She's super dangerous on the ground, and she is an absolute finisher. So for me, I see Montserrat getting it to the ground, and that being her undoing, and Jacqueline Amorim getting the submission in the second round on her.
Okay, so for me, Amorim's pretty much better everywhere, right? Obviously, Ruiz comes with that high credential wrestling, multiple-time national champion and whatnot.
I wanted to pick her, honestly. She's a little beast.
I mean, it's a close fight, and it's women's MMA, right? We always talk about that. The thing with Montserrat Ruiz, or one of the things that really bothers me, is the takedowns are always via that headlock. We were talking a little bit about that earlier. Anyone that's seen her fight at all in the UFC knows that that's how she gets the fight to the ground. It was interesting to see her do that versus Cheyenne Velismus, who we're going to be talking about a little later on for some weird reason.
I'm sure.
But I was happy that she beat her ass, right?
Me too.
Now, here's the thing, though, Dino. The headlock, it's really weird because, like you said, she doesn't have great control on the ground. It's always like that scarf or kind of like a weird side control.
Like if you don't have good wrestling, she'll keep you there.
Right.
But she's like she did to Cheyenne Velismus.
Yeah.
But she didn't do anything with it. She didn't do any damage at all. She literally just held it there.
Agreed.
I'm surprised they didn't get him up. She just stood there for 4 minutes in that.
My thing is, though, Amorim is really good on the ground, right?
Absolutely.
So if you do take her down that way, which I guess it's possible, I think she can scramble out the back and take back control.
That's what I'm saying.
Or possibly, flip the position somehow.
We're in agreement.
Right.
Ruiz is going to get her down, and then Amorim's going to get the sub.
Right. So I agree with you fully. That's all I got to say about that. I guess one more thing I could throw in is the fact that Amorim has shown pretty bad cardio. So that worries me a little bit. The more this fight goes on, the more I think it starts to favor Ruiz.
Yeah, but she did, by the way, she got married, which is why her name is different, obviously, and she did have a child, too, I believe.
Okay.
So 2 years off, not that she's old. I think she's, 30? Yeah, 30 years old. So, but still, I think becoming a mother, a beautiful gift, obviously, but I do think dude, it has to take something out of you, right?
I don't know, brother.
I don't know either.
Never been
I'm talking out of my ass. But anything else on that one?
No, please.
Moving on to the next fight of the night. It's obviously at heavyweight.
If this gets better.
It's Josh Parisian, not much better quality-wise, versus Martin Buday. You asked me last week, by the way, when Ludovic Klein was fighting, is he the only Slovakian fighter? Here's your other Slovakian fighter. It's Martin Buday.
Here he is.
What do you think about this fight?
All right, let's start with the red corner, Josh Parisian. Busy striker, high output, decent cardio for a heavyweight, one of the big guys. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of one of the sloppy dudes.
Parisian?
Yeah. But he's got good cardio for being one of the sloppy dudes. Not too much power. He continues to come forward at all times. He has okay takedowns. The takedown defense last time out we saw wasn't that great. He's really kind of just like middle of the road, and that's all there really is about Josh Parisian. Martin Buday, on the other hand, he's powerful. He's got decent power for, I guess, the big guys at heavyweight. Decent footwork. He's sometimes hesitant to throw. He can be low output at times, which is a little bit.
We saw that versus Pogues even.
Yeah, exactly, against Jamal Pogues. The grappling is mid-level. It's okay. Nothing really to write home about. He's not a guy who gets too tired. Has okay cardio as well. He just beat Jake Collier.
Yeah, and Jake Collier was putting it on his ass in the first round, and then literally was done after that. Was completely exhausted, and not that Buday is like a cardio machine, but
but it was okay. Like
low output, he'll outlast you if you spend it all in the first.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think Jake Collier is pretty comparable to Josh Parisian. They're pretty damn similar. There's not too much.
I think Jake Collier is better.
Personally. So there's that. I think this fight has a high potential of being very boring. I'm going to stick with the 12-1 Martin Buday. Better record. He's younger. He's got more power. I don't think there's a finish in this fight, so I'm taking Buday by decision. I take the over. If you're going to bet anything, take the over on rounds.
I like that. I like that call. Yeah, for me, you were listing some things off. I don't really know what Josh Parisian does well at this point. He's slow. He's got slow hand speed. How great is he on the ground? I mean, he's okay on the ground.
Right.
Pogues basically laid on him for a few rounds. Didn't do shit. We saw Pogues recently. He didn't look good. He lost. So, I guess he's got some power. Losses to Parker Porter and Dontel Mays. Those don't look great. So I think
guys are all just losing to each other, though, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and that goes to show you, like, nobody is distancing themselves. Nobody is taking the opportunity in such a weak weight class to stand out. So, for me, Martin Buday is going to be the much bigger guy in there. He used to be almost 400 pounds, and he was a pro gamer.
He's the video game guy.
Yeah, he was a pro gamer. That's a crazy career path. But he's really nothing special either. I mean, I think I do trust him. Maybe Parisian has the better cardio, but I feel like Buday is so low output at times that he can kind of save himself more, maybe. Mm-hmm. He's got some power. He's good in the clinch. I do like it when he uses his knees and his length, and he actually tries to use that. This is going to be a sloppy fat fight. Yeah. Let's be real. I'm going with the same thing that you said, though. I see Buday using opportunity to kind of lay against him against the cage and just kind of put his body on him. 29-28 decision for Buday.
And for what it's worth, Buday around 3 years younger and 3-0 in the UFC.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, God, that makes you feel some type of way. But anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night. It is Francis Fire Marshall versus Isaac Dulgarian, who is making his UFC debut. Did you watch the tape on this one? I'm sure that you did.
Yeah, would you agree that it starts getting more fun around here?
It does, definitely. This is already much more fun. This has, I think, the potential to be the funnest fight of the night, depending on what you think of Isaac Dulgarian. Now, he only has, five? He's 5-0, 5 professional fights. Very interesting. In my mind, when I saw that he's a 5'7" dude, and I just kind of like glanced at him, I'm like, Francis Fire Marshall is very solid all around.
Yeah.
He's only 24 years old. He's a great wrestler. He's shown a little something on the feet. We've seen him take a shot to the chin too. Nothing crazy, but I don't think he has a weak chin. So I appreciate how active he's staying. He just fought, and now he's fighting Isaac Dulgarian, and this is only a 6th pro fight. To his credit, he's finished every single fight that he's been in, pro or amateur. Mm-hmm. Really aggressive ground and pound. Like, super aggressive ground and pound. This guy's a little pit bull.
I agree.
Has some submissions. He's got good submissions. He looks just, like, explosive, powerful. So, listen, man. I'm going to take the underdog here. I think he's going to get the finish. I don't know if it's going to be by sub or by KO, but I think taking a double chance bet on Isaac Dulgarian to get the finish here, I really like that. So...
Okay, so I disagree. I'm going with Francis Marshall. Reason being, we know Francis Marshall's pretty good, right? You mentioned
I do. I like him.
We know he's UFC caliber. I'm taking him because I realized that Dulgarian could take him down. I think he could win a decision.
I think Dulgarian's initially when I watched tape, I thought Francis Marshall was definitely going to be the better wrestler. Dulgarian's probably the better wrestler.
Right. The biggest concern for me comes in the fact that we have never seen Dulgarian tested yet.
No, I mean, he's 5 times.
Right, he's fought 5 times. He's fought very low-level competition. He's fought cans, essentially, his whole career.
He had a couple by record that were okay.
Right, record that were okay, but we never
even saw those guys. He doesn't come from like a crazy promotion either.
Right.
I forgot where he was from, but it wasn't anything.
And we've never seen him hit hard. We've never seen him kind of like be put in a position that he's not comfortable in. He's been in control of all the fights that he's fought.
Yeah.
So for me, we've seen Francis Marshall in trouble. We've seen how he's durable and how much of a dog he is. I think that he's going to eventually... This fight's going to end up on the ground.
He's a decent favorite, too. I mean, minus 190. So you're absolutely... Yeah. I mean, I absolutely could see that.
I think this fight goes to the ground, Dino. I think that even if it is Dulgarian taking it there, Marshall's good enough to survive and calm enough to survive. And I think he turns the tables and finds a sub.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going Marshall by sub.
Interesting. I just think that...
Low confidence in it, though. I'm not...
Yeah, I don't feel crazy confident either. I mean, I'm picking a live dog, in my opinion. Yeah. I just think Dulgarian has that dog in him at the end of the day.
And he might... The Midwest Choppa?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good nickname.
I love that. He could pass for a Syrian, too, I feel like.
Maybe.
Anyway, moving on to the next fight.
Or what's it called? Like a Targaryen. Where are they from again? Dulgarian.
Ooh.
Valerian.
Yeah.
Old Valyria. Shout out Game of Thrones.
Shout out Old Valyria too.
Let's get it.
You know. Anyway, moving on to the next fight of the night, and this is nuts to me. Yeah. Terrance McKinney is fighting again. I feel like we break him down like every other week now.
Yeah.
And we kind of do. He literally fought, I want to say 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's nuts, dude. Anyway, he's back fighting at 155, and this time he's fighting Mike Breeden. What do you think about this one?
All right. Our boy, T-Rex. Yes. Here we go again, right?
By the way, I just want to say, I said after last, I was in the moment because I was so mad. When I messaged you, I was like, I'm done with T-Rex. That's it. Right. I take it back.
Okay, I'm not going to break down Terrance McKinney. There's literally no need to break down Terrance
exactly
McKinney.
Who he is.
We've already done it here 50 times.
So many times.
You guys watching this, Terrance McKinney is like the third most notable name on this card.
Yeah, true.
True. Fourth, maybe.
That's true.
It's like we know who Terrance McKinney is. He's going to rush forward. He's super powerful. He has some good wrestling. It's all amazing. He's stupidly athletic. It's unreal for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then God knows what happens.
Yeah.
He's taking on Mike Breeden. Mike Breeden's 0-2 in the UFC. He's a decent striker. The power is kind of middle of the road. It's nothing crazy. He's a volume kind of guy.
He's not like completely pillow fisted.
Right. But it's nothing crazy.
No.
And
it's not T-Rex level by any means.
Right.
Yeah.
We were told the wrestling was good. However, we saw Natan Levy take him down and dominate him. So I'm not really a huge fan of Breeden.
Davy's Benoit.
Shout out Davy and Davy's boy, I guess.
Absolutely.
Natan Levy.
Shabbat shalom, sweetheart.
To me, it's simple, Dino. To beat Terrance McKinney, I think there's a couple ways to do it. You need to either be very powerful and durable to be able to just kind of like take the shit that's coming and dish it back.
That's one.
And survive the 3 minutes. Or you need to be a really good grappler.
Boom. Or
just survive. Be able to survive for 3 minutes.
Or
be Drew Dober.
Or
what is it?
Grab his dick and twist it.
Grab his dick and twist it.
Nobody's tried that yet.
And yeah, it might work.
I mean,
it might work. I think Breeden has none of those things. He might be able to grab his dick and twist it.
If he's watching this, try it, bro.
There's a cup, though. What do you do about the cup? You got to reach in.
You got to like
reach in.
You got to do like a little like push the cup to the side, like.
Ooh. Okay.
Like, hey, mama, move that cup to the side.
Hit a little swim move. Okay, but yeah, I'm going Terrance McKinney.
You think it's probably easier to get him from the bottom then?
Well, no, because it kind of extends. You got to go from the back then. There's a whole distance.
What position are you imagining this in? Like you're
grab his dick and twist it.
Yeah, like you're in top.
Easiest would be north south. Right. Easiest would be north south.
If you're north south, you can go in straight.
Yeah, so many angles.
But that's sketchy, dude. You can't just go in straight, like clean skin to skin.
What if you go through the short leg?
That's too much, dude. Yeah. You gotta bypass the taint then.
Yeah.
That's too much. That's too risky.
What kind of shorts you wear would matter. Like the baggy, kind of like the short Muay Thai baggy ones is a lot easier.
Damn, true. Because if he's wearing like the long, like you're not getting in there.
Like the Anderson Silva.
You're not getting in there at all.
Right.
I was just look it up, bro. What kind of shorts does Mike Breeden? What does T-Rex wear? He wears the tight joints.
Does he?
Nah, I don't know. Anyways,
moving on. T-Rex. First round knockout. I think he needs to win. The UFC needs him to win.
Yes.
This is a perfect matchup at a perfect time.
Boom. I agree. I told myself I wouldn't do it again. I'm fucking doing it again. T-Rex, he gets back on track. First round knockout. Pretty wild that he's doing this, but I kind of get it. Like, KO,
he was in good shape.
Bad flash KO loss. He's in good shape. Bad fucking submission loss. And like
in a fight that he took no damage,
yeah.
And in a fight that he was kind of winning,
and a win,
not kind of, he was
like a brutal KO win. We would forget about those last two fights pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I get it. I hope it works out for him. T-Rex first round knockout.
Really, really quickly. I hate to do this.
Get it, do it.
Minus 260 for T-Rex right now. Damn. How do you feel about that? Too high, too low? Too hot, too warm?
I would like a minus 210.
Okay.
Like I could see like minus 180.
Okay.
I don't know.
Really?
Like he's coming off 2 losses, but man, he's got to be. He's better than Mike Breeden, dude.
Right.
So
on Tapology, Mike Breeden's the 193rd ranked lightweight. Terrance McKinney's the 35th.
That's true.
For what that's worth.
That's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Next fight of the night, Marcus McGhee fighting.
Don't do it.
Just a very unfortunate guy.
Unreal.
JP Bays. And it's probably even more unfortunate, like, man, you know, Palmdale and Afro Man when
of
he's
course.
like Gino Williams, Lorenz Tate, like
all the football players.
Yeah, and he's like, I wish my homeboys much success.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm still getting depressed. Like he's probably watching these South African guys, like Cameron Simon, crushing it, Dricus Duplessis, cheating, crushing it though, and he's out here like not doing great. Right? Like losing so many fights, getting knocked out, getting finished, also getting cucked. And by like a regular bitch, you know? Like your bitch, a regular bitch, you calling the wifey, I fuck the feet of fast food, you keeping the icy.
Right. Shout out 50.
50 Cent said it, you know, and I didn't have to go there, I'm sorry. But anyway, getting back to the actual meat of the fight.
What are we on right now? What are we doing?
I'm nothing. I'm just saying like it's unfortunate, you know, but I see a pattern here, right? Juliana Miller, JP Bays out. I think these are their last fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Marcus McGhee throws some spinning stuff, you know. He gets some finishes. He's a training partner of Sugar Sean, right? He's 7-1. All of his wins have been by finish. Mm-hmm. The guy's got some muscle. I feel like JP Bays, like his striking is soy, right? He's a decent grappler, but
good wrestling, yeah.
Good wrestling, yeah. I just don't think he's long for the UFC, man. Yeah. You know, he's gonna be massively disadvantaged in the striking, and I see him getting finished, man. Round 1, certainly no later than round 2. I'm going Marcus McGhee.
My thought process behind it is that the UFC has done JP Bays no favors.
Yeah.
Nor has really the last 2 years of life, right? Like I don't know.
I've been there, brother.
Right, but obviously the whole Cheyenne shit you were talking about. Then he was stuck here. He had visa troubles and passport issues.
Right,
there was a whole bunch of shit where he couldn't even get a fight. So he was
I feel for the guy.
I saw him I heard him on a podcast talking about how he was broke and had nowhere to stay. And he had 1 or 2 fights in the UFC.
He should make friends with The Rock.
Right, because he bought Themba Garimbo a house.
Maybe JP Bays could fucking love The Rock.
Finesse a crib.
I got
right?
$7.
Right,
I got cooked. The Rock. Or Stone Cold.
Another interesting thing, Stone Cold.
You think Stone?
Just to have that kind of.
You think Stone Cold watches UFC MMA?
He's definitely seen it.
He's seen it for sure.
Yeah. Have a couple beers.
I don't think he I feel like he's just he likes college football and shit.
100%. He's Southern. Yeah. That's his whole shtick. But anyways, here's what I'm saying. It's interesting that we have JP Bays versus Marcus McGhee. Marcus McGhee, a Sugar Sean training partner. JP Bays trains with Aljo and Marab in them. So, that's going on, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel bad for JP Bays. It is what it is. He's been dealt a shitty hand. He's only 26 or 27 years old.
That's so crazy, man.
So I think
9-5 though.
I think after he gets knocked out here, which inevitably is going to happen, I think JP Bays, if he goes and gets himself on like a 3-4 fight win streak, gets a little better.
Outside of the UFC.
Yeah, gets back on the grind or whatever, he could be back. Come back as like a 30-year-old, 31-year-old veteran, and first round knockout Marcus McGhee.
That's fire. That's an unreal way to finish that. Give this whole ass speech about how he could do all this shit, come back. I feel for him though, man.
Dude, it sucks.
It sucks, bro. Listen, I've been cheated on. I've been scammed. You've
been extorted.
I've been extorted for dick pics. And so on.
Remember the episode with Drew?
That was awesome.
And you opened that with the dick pic extortion.
Yeah, and y'all thought I was lying. I'm keeping it real with you guys. Through and through.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the next fight of the night. It's the 7th fight. It's Josh Fremd fighting Jamie Pickett at 185. What do you think about this one?
You mentioned that not Cheyenne. What's the fucking ugly chick at the beginning? Juliana Miller. Juliana Miller, probably her last fight if she gets beat here, hopefully. And then for JP Bays, unfortunately, might be his last fight as well.
That's what I'm saying. I saw a pattern here. Yeah.
And the
pattern.
pattern.
Jamie Pickett's last fight.
I think whoever loses this fight, it's their last fight because, they're both kind of struggling. Anyways, Tafon and Nchukwi, great nickname. Coming back down to 185, he's a tank. Good power, good skills, technique in the stand-up is solid.
Wait. You're talking about Stefan Dadon?
I'm sorry, I went to Tafon and Nchukwi fight.
We're talking about Josh Fremd versus Jamie Pickett, my boy.
Sorry, guys. We're gonna... I think it's the last fight for Josh Fremd or Jamie Pickett, Dino.
Were you talking about...
No, I was talking about this fight.
Okay.
I just started reading the wrong thing. I feel like some people think that Fremd is a bottom feeder kind of fighter. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not that good. He has some losses. He lost to my boy Tresean Gore. That choke was absolutely violent. Did you happen to watch that on film this time?
It was bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. But Fremd isn't that bad. He's well-rounded. He's just not really good in any aspect of MMA. But he's got, like, good striking, good grappling, good jiu-jitsu, all that.
I would say his grappling is better than his striking.
It is. He is a grappler at heart.
He's not... what was his last... his last fight was versus Dumas.
Yes.
Dude, he rocked Dumas a couple times. He had some nice hooks that he landed in that. And you're right, though. Nothing stands out as special.
That's what I'm saying. 10-4 in his career, 1-2 in the UFC. His losses were to Fluffy and Tresean Gore. Like, decent competition. Cedricus Dumas... still kind of up in the air. He looked terrible his first time out, but...
Lost me a bunch of money last time out.
Right. So, who knows? And then we have Jamie Pickett. Good striker, long-bodied, likes to keep his opponents at range. He does a good job when he's able to do that. He is low output. He sometimes keeps his hands low, and he's slow.
Dude, he does that all the time. He's slow, and not just slow. Jamie Pickett, I've noticed, is a guy that does not like to get hit. He really does not like to get hit. And he's very apprehensive. It's I feel like exactly what's gonna happen in this matchup is he's the better striker for sure. Yeah, and he's longer, rangier, 100%. Probably has better power too.
Yep.
And he's not gonna show that with his level of aggression.
Yeah, he's gonna take his time. That's what he does.
And Josh Fremd is the type of guy that will put the pressure on.
Exactly.
Even if he's not the better striker.
So we saw Pickett last time out. He wasn't able. He starts slow, and it was Bo Nickel. Nobody's beating Bo Nickel right now. Yeah.
I love how people were like, that's like.
Yeah.
The nut shot, he would have had it. Like, bro, no. What happened is exactly what would have happened.
Right. He lost that fight. No shame in losing a Bo Nickel.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's the most accomplished wrestler
in the UFC today. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
Potentially all time.
Has to be.
Right?
Who's closer? Cormier maybe
being an Olympian, or I guess Cejudo being a gold medalist.
Sure.
If Kurt Angle would have fought with a broken freaking neck.
With a broken freaking neck.
Right.
I love Kurt Angle so much.
So to me, this is a striker versus grappler. I think Fremd's going to come forward and try to take Pickett down, obviously, pretty quickly. If Pickett is quick to pull the trigger and let go of his hands, he can easily win this fight. I think the loser of this fight probably gets cut from the UFC. I do think that loser is going to be Jamie Pickett because I don't trust that he'll throw those hands and just let him go right away.
Same.
I think Fremd gets a takedown, eventually takes the back. RNC round 2. By the way, Jamie Pickett's record, 13-9.
I know. I tweaked off that earlier. I did not realize it was that bad. I knew it was. I thought it was 13-5.
Right.
Yeah. Not good. Yeah. Fremd staying super active. He just fought in March. Beat Dumas via guillotine. He's fighting another tall, rangy striker.
Yeah.
But whereas Dumas was just raw and has the talent, Jamie Pickett first of all, 6 years older. And I think we're starting to see all bit of 35 years old. Not that that's super old.
Yeah.
And Jamie Pickett's not a bad wrestler, but he's just not very aggressive, man. And he doesn't like to get hit. Fremd is the type of guy, even if he lacks the talent, he will come forward. And I have to say, I do think I kind of underrated Josh Fremd thus far in his career. I really do. Yeah. I know he has 2 losses. I know he hasn't looked amazing, but I do think he's got, again, that dog in him a little bit. You know, he's gonna press forward. Jamie Pickett doesn't do well fighting off the back foot. I'm not super confident about this. I almost picked Pickett originally just because Josh Fremd, we've seen his chin tested as well.
Yeah.
He hasn't been, like, obliterated, right? But, like, we've seen his chin tested. And, also, Jamie Pickett faked the nut shot versus Tululin. I don't know if you remember that. He kicked him, like, belt line, and, like, they rewatched it, and it was like, oh, it wasn't. And it's like, bro, you just, like, come on. I don't know. I don't like to see that shit.
Who was it? Remember, like, 2 weeks ago, somebody had, like, an egregious one. Like, it was a new guy in the UFC, and it was a bullshit one. He got kicked in the stomach, kind of like the Usman Colby thing. Remember. It was really bad.
The one that I always think about with those is, what is it, Luana? No, it's like that cute Brazilian chick. She straight up faked, like, hard as hell that she was, like, out cold.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I think Fremd, I don't know that he's going to get the finish. I see a decision, but I do think he's going to beat Jamie Pickett.
And Pickett, 2-6 in the UFC. Do you know his 2 wins are against guys that are no longer in the promotion?
I literally had that written down too. Yeah. You're not that special or cool. I'm just kidding. You are. You really are. Whoa. I love you so much. Hey, come on. Hey.
Can we finish the show,
come on. Please? Oh my God, not that. I'm gonna have some explaining to do. So moving on to the 8th. By the way,
this is the fight I was so eager to talk about. Apparently, you know, Tafon to Nchukwi.
Yeah, I just want to say we've been sober, very sober for the last few. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell them. I'm just gonna tell them. We had a couple 2-3 drinks.
Couple 2-3.
Dino.
Yeah.
Bam Bam.
Yeah.
He made a very delicious pina colada.
Yeah.
He freeballed it too. Delicious.
Freeballed it. By the way.
Also, the inventor of squeezy juice. Maybe you put the recipe for squeezy juice in the description for this video.
Potentially. And if I don't,
then
I didn't.
And then maybe just ask us about it.
Right. Like, we could do that. Also, by the way, last week's videos, we do have to apologize for the shitty lighting.
Oh, dude. No, that's his fault.
That's my fault. But I'm saying we because, like, we're supposed to be like a team thing. I fucked up the lighting.
And then you fucked up something else too.
And then I fucked up something really bad. For the last month, I've been getting a few complaints about the sound quality.
Mostly from me.
From him, from my mother, from a couple people. Anyways, this microphone, very good. Very high quality microphone.
It's a good mic.
It's a good mic.
Our sound was not bad when we started.
No, it was great. When we had some sound issues at the beginning, but it was about splicing. We figured that shit out.
Yeah.
The last, 3-4 episodes, the sound's been sounding terrible. We realized that while this mic was plugged in and pretending to be hooked up to my computer, it was not. So the audio was coming through the Logitech camera there. We got it on this microphone now, so...
We're past it. So, excusa, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, such.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Tafon and Nchukwi versus AJ Dobson. This is one of the harder fights. I think maybe the hardest fight to predict.
Okay.
At least for me it was.
Yeah, it was very tough.
This is a tough one. So, Tafon and Nchukwi.
Tafon to Dawn.
He looks so much better with the fade. I don't like it when he grows his hair out.
Agreed.
It doesn't look as fresh. But he actually has a win over Jamie Pickett, by the way.
Yeah.
He's lost 3 or 4 in the UFC. But I think he's actually not bad, you know? Mm-hmm. His one win was versus a guy who's not in the UFC anymore, Mike Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, that's 2 wins because Jamie Pickett and Mike Rodriguez.
But Jamie Pickett was not in the UFC.
It was at Fight Night, yeah.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking asshole. I'm so sorry.
And it's 3 losses to really good fighters. Blackjack Allberg, Azam Umberzakhanov, and Jun Park. So
it is, but Allberg got him with that jab. I just want to know, how did Kennedy Nzechukwu beat Carlos Ulberg? That's, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to...
Let's not get into it. But anyway, he's taking on AJ Dobb. Well, first of all, Nchukwi. He does his best work in the clinch. He is a master of the clinch. He's big as hell. I heard somewhere that he cuts 20 or 25 pounds.
What are we talking about here? Tafon, right?
Tafon and Nchukwi.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Kennedy. I thought you went off on a little...
Nope.
Okay.
I want to forget about him hard right now.
Okay.
Tafon Nchukwi. I heard somewhere that he cuts like 25 pounds. So dude is probably fighting at like 200 pounds, 210 pounds.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Like, AJ Dobson, super jacked too. Great shape. Like, the longer fighter. But when you look at, like, he feels longer, and then you look at the stats, unless they're lying through their teeth. But, like, they're very evenly matched. The reach, the height, like, there's really no advantages, right?
Yeah.
But they're such different fighters to me. AJ Dobson, technically, on paper, is the better wrestler. But Tafon Nchukwi is going to be the stronger fighter, right?
Yeah.
Vicious elbows. He does his best work in the clinch. I've gone back and forth on this one, man, because I do expect Dobson to be the better wrestler, have the better technical striking, but Dobson has seemed so apprehensive at times, you know? Mm-hmm. Like who did he fight? Petrosian, right? And he didn't look too bad. Right. Petrosian's really damn good.
Yeah, skilled in the stand-up.
Super skilled in the stand-up.
Yeah.
And AJ Dobson, I feel like, could have done more. Like, he, almost like on some Jamie Pickett shit. Like, he was too apprehensive, like, didn't throw that much. Like, so I don't know if you're scared of the power of Petrosian. Yeah. Tafon Nchukwi, dude, he throws vicious elbows. And the ground and pound, he throws vicious ground and pound. And he's going to be the bigger, stronger fighter. Even if he gets taken down by AJ Dobson, I don't see him being held down. I think he's the underdog here, right?
I believe so.
Can you pull that up, Jamie?
What, Jamie? Sorry. Don't do that to me. Come on. The numbers, minus 150 for Tafon to Dawn. Plus 120, AJ Dobson.
Oh, wow. It flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't feel great about it. Like I said in the beginning of this breakdown, I think Tafon is going to win by, even if Dobson gets him down. And Dobson's just not aggressive enough. They're so different in that. Tafon is going to throw violent shit. Even if he's the slower fighter, he's going to prod forward and he's going to throw aggressive shots. AJ Dobson is the more skilled guy. I just think Tafon is going to get this one.
To me, the differentiating factors here are the speed and the chin. I think both go to Dobson, and he's also, to me, the better grappler. So
he should be.
You wanted to take the underdog, I'll take the underdog.
Yeah.
So I'm going with AJ Dobson.
I like it when we disagree, to be honest. I feel like we've been agreeing a lot, and
the last card was brutal.
Oh my god, it was so brutal.
But I feel like everyone did bad.
And listen, I made it. I was like, you know what? I don't have a great feeling about this card. Mm-hmm. I'm just flexing it out real quick.
I feel that.
You're right. And I chose not to bet a single.
I swear I didn't bet anything.
You didn't bet anything?
I didn't bet anything until.
Why are you so mysterious all the time?
Until the main event, I bet Corey Sandhagen by decision, but I only put like $10-20 on it.
No. Interesting. Yeah. I thought for sure you were betting. I just assumed you're throwing bands.
Well, the first two fights of the night, I got really buzzkilled after the Ode Osborne loss and then the Dennis Bazukia loss.
Yeah. So Can I just say, I lose the majority of my parlays on the first fight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah.
And then I hate it. Anyway, I'm just glad I didn't bet. Yep. You did a little better than me last week. It wasn't good, though.
Not good. So no bueno.
Absolutely. Anyway, moving on to the next fight. It's Polyana Viana.
That's a yo girl.
Isn't
it?
No. When have I
don't know. I just thought.
Ever said Polyana. No, anyway. Polyana Viana versus Iasmin Lucindo. Two Brazilian little fellas fighting each other at 115.
Not Polyana Viana.
No, they're just out here. They're doing their best.
She's not like a little Brazilian fella. Wasn't that Colby Covington's little...
No, I just like to say, like, they're just like little guys. Okay. Like, they're women, and they're not, they're both decent looking.
No.
Just like, I just want to put them in my pocket.
Okay.
And you know who else? We're up to, 142 subs?
Something like that.
I would just give you all of you guys, a little kiss on the forehead like this. So thank you. And then I put you in my pocket.
That's so sweet.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I would hate it, personally, but that's just me.
Well, because you're a full-size you.
Right.
If you were like just a really small you, where I could just like pick you up.
You think I'd be like this is amazing? You think that's what I'd be on? I'm not.
Or at least you'd be like, what you gonna do about it, my boy?
Right.
You a little guy.
Right, that's so annoying.
I'll just shake you
I would hate that. Yeah. Get picked on like that.
Hey, that's adorable, though. I just pictured you. Tiny. I would definitely give you a little kiss on the forehead.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Polyana Viana versus Iasmin Lucindo. What a banger of a fight. Dino Bam Bam Barcham.
Yeah.
Give it to us, babe.
All right, so the previous fight, we were talking about how similar those two fighters are. I think these two fighters are pretty similar. They're both grapplers. They're both pretty dangerous on the ground. I would say Viana's definitely more dangerous on the ground.
Alasas.
Right. They're both like sort of mediocre with the hands. Viana is pretty much a specialist, right? Would you agree or no? She's sort of like a jiu-jitsu nerd.
I mean, her striking's not good.
Right, but she did get that flash knockout last time out. So
I know, and maybe she comes out now and just starts
throwing hands. Yeah. She's like the new Kimbo.
Kimbo
Gorimbo. Yeah. To me, this is very simple. It's the eye test here. Lucindo looks more the part than Viana does for me. She's better on the feet. She's good enough on the ground if things get there. The fight against Iasmin Jauregui was unbelievable with Lucindo. That was such a good women's fight. MMA fight. I think at 21 years old, this girl is going to progress. She's going to get a lot better. I would not be shocked at all if she ends up at some point in her career being a top 5 fighter in the division.
Yeah, I like her too. The only thing with me is, and we've talked about this before, is like these highly hyped women's prospects. They come in, they fight a decent vet, and what happens? But
Lucindo's fought twice, right?
She has. And you know, the Jauregui fight looked. I thought initially, I guess it's more that I thought higher of her.
Yeah.
I thought Jauregui was going to be so much better.
Yeah.
You know, and then her last fight, she did not look that great. But
she got knocked out immediately.
Yeah, and I mean,
we were there. That was.
And I didn't expect that at all.
And the fans were. It was weird. The stadium was. It was like, besides Brandon Moreno, she almost had like the second biggest pop of the night, more so than Yair.
Yeah, people really weren't fucking with Yair. I guess maybe because people just love Volk too. Even the Mexican people.
Yeah, but
love
still,
Volk.
dude, it was like I would say that. Would you say the arena was like 75% Mexican fans?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it was like 75-80%.
Yeah.
And of course, when Iasmin fought, it was like 30-40% full, the stadium.
Yeah.
When Yair fought, it was packed. It was 130% full, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, it almost seemed like they were more for her than they were for him. And when she got knocked out, that place went like silent.
Yeah, it did.
Except for me, I was screaming, but it was just like, yo, like that shit was violent.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude next to me was really mad.
Oh, dude,
really mad.
I had some South African people in front of me.
Yeah.
And we were like together.
I think one of them put a curse on me. Started like yelling some violent shit at me and like
some brujeria shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't even know what that is, but yeah, I'll take your word for it.
They were Mexican.
No, the South African guy.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brujeria is like
voodoo.
Mexican voodoo witchcraft.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I almost went Polyana Viana just because of what we've seen happen recently, and Brogan Walker is not good. Let me just say that. Juliana Miller beat her. So maybe Brogan Walker is the worst in the UFC, period. But I guess I'm going with Iasmin Lucindo as well. I hope so, right? Like you said, like she seems like a decent prospect. You know, I hope she gets the win.
Cool.
Moving on, and now it gets really fucking interesting. It's Khalil Rountree versus Chris Daukas. Chris Daukas is making his light heavyweight debut. Chris Daukas was this close to becoming a my boy.
I remember.
When he was putting people out at heavyweight, because I really enjoyed his super flabby body. No, I'm just kidding. I enjoyed the fact, like, his technical ass boxing.
Yeah, good boxing, yeah.
He had really fast hands, right? So my biggest question is, how is this going to translate? How is that speed going to translate now that he's coming down a weight class? I expect him to look good. I expect him to be in pretty good shape. Is that difference in hand speed, where he's like one of the better hand speed strikers,
one of the faster heavyweights,
one of the faster heavyweights with as far as hands go? Is that going to translate? Is he going to be that fast at light heavyweight? I don't think so. More than anything, I just think this is a terrible matchup for him. Chris Daukas, I know he has some knockouts, but he's not like a violent fighter, a violent finisher. Khalil Rountree is John Jones level. Like, I'm going to exploit the rules. Why don't more fighters do these fucked up strikes? Yeah. Like, I hate the oblique kick as somebody that has bad knees. I hate it. I do like Khalil Rountree. One thing that's kind of interesting to me is Khalil Rountree preaches, like, don't bully and all this shit, and then like he soccer kicks a motherfucker to the chest.
Yeah,
and you know what's crazy? Wild. How many people don't know that? How many fighters in the UFC don't know that you can do that? You can soccer kick somebody to the body.
Yeah. I think we saw it on this last card as well.
I know, but it's just like more fighters should know that.
Yeah.
You can literally do that. And how many times you get a guy down when you drop his head, you can literally kick him in the chest. Like,
yeah, that's fire.
And that's fine. Anyway, Khalil Rountree, I just think it's just a terrible matchup for him. Khalil Rountree is not like the biggest light heavyweight. Is he 5'10", 11?
He is listed at 6'1".
6'1", bullshit. He's probably like 5'11".
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think it's a bad matchup. Khalil is too wild, too strong. If Daukas is going to win this, Khalil Rountree is not somebody that likes to fight off the back foot. Mm-hmm. So, if he has a chance to win this, he's going to have to pressure him and work him with the technical boxing. I just haven't seen that from Chris Daukas. I don't think he's the kind of guy that's going to put the pressure on somebody. Especially, bro, he was just knocked out 3 fucking times violently in the last 12 months, I want to say.
Type shit, yeah.
Like, that's got to be mentioned, too. So, for me, I see a Khalil Rountree first-round knockout. I'm be honest with you.
Okay.
I know he's got the better technical boxing, but Khalil Rountree is the better, more well-rounded overall striker. So I'm going Khalil Rountree first-round knockout in this one.
Okay. Just to be fair, the 3 guys that did knock out Chris Daukas.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Derek Lewis, Curtis Blades, and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. 3 guys that... I mean, Derek Lewis is Derek Lewis, right? And Curtis Blades is absolutely jacked. He's a guy that comes in and weighs in at 265, but he's not a fat guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Jairzinho, he's Biggie Boy. That's his nickname.
Yeah,
so
that's the worst nickname.
Whatever. It's not a great nickname, but, he's big. That's the point. Rountree is not that big. So that, that kind of gives me some confidence for Chris Daukas. Let me ask you this, though. If Chris Daukas were to lose this fight...
He's going back to being a cop.
He would be 12-7. He would be 4-4 in the UFC.
Officer.
You think he gets cut?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah. He would probably join his brother at CFFC at that point. Let me also ask you this. Do you think that do you think Chris Daukas... Like, he's a black belt. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Do you think if he were to use takedowns and utilize them more that he could win this fight?
Yeah, but he's not going to do that, and he's not going to be able to get Khalil Rountree down.
You don't think he could take him down? You don't...
I don't see it happening. Maybe he could, but Khalil Rountree's way stronger, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even Chris Daukas, when he was putting people out, it wasn't with one-shot power.
No, yeah, he's like a volume guy, put the hands on you kind of dude.
So...
it's interesting.
With the hands, he is more technical. I just don't see it, man.
I also wonder if the chin's going to be better at 205 than it was at heavyweight.
I don't think so.
I feel like that's one of those things.
There's 2 ways to look at it. There's 2 ways to look at it. Right,
you're cutting more weight.
Right.
Or it's like
they don't hit as hard. Khalil Rountree hits as hard as a heavyweight, bro.
Okay.
I don't know. To me.
Yeah. So, anyways, another question is, what do they drink?
Oh my god.
Because
Chris Daukas is definitely a beer drinker.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, I take him for like a whiskey guy.
Really?
Yeah. Not like high-end whiskey, but just like some Jack Daniels. Just like some
Khalil Rountree, I feel like drinks tequila.
Okay.
He drinks like a decent tequila. Like that's his go-to.
Like a $70 bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a Don Julio, like Añejo kind of thing?
Maybe. Something like that.
Okay.
At least like a Casamigos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I respect it. As far as the fight's concerned, I just think Chris Daukas being 0-3 in his last 3, what's the term? The searching for straws or whatever, like pulling
for straws.
That shit. He's doing that right now. I've always said I don't like when people leave divisions.
He's out here
on
like
a losing streak. Oh, I can't get it. Yeah, whatever. Khalil Rountree is hot. Chris Daukas is not at this point in their careers. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. I'm going with Khalil Rountree.
I love it.
And he's very violent. He's very mean and violent.
God, and it doesn't fit his personality at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the co-main event. It's Cub Swanson, absolute legend of the game. He's 28-13. He's 40 years old at this point. And he's fighting Hakeem Dawodu. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, Cub Swanson, he's very well-rounded. Obviously, you mentioned he's a legend, he's a stud. You're not going to be in the UFC for that long if you're not good at most things.
One of the smartest fighters, I would say.
Yeah, definitely a my boy. Love Cub Swanson.
Oh, dude, absolutely. One of the few legends, left.
Yeah, agreed.
In the sport.
Agreed.
Like, with Robbie Lawler level.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You say Clay Guida's like that level?
Yeah, but Clay never got to, like...
He was at the top for a while when he was fighting, like, Diego Sanchez.
Yeah, but Diego Sanchez made him.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
You know?
Anyways.
He mostly gets... people love him because he gets fucked up.
Yeah, and his
so I think it's a little different. And his hair looks great. It's like Ric Flair, like, you know, when he used to bleed. Especially when he used to bleed with that bleach blonde hair. Like, people love that shit. So yeah, Cub Swanson. Look, unfortunately for Cub Swanson, he's turning 40 in like 3 months. Yeah.
That's the biggest problem here. Because if we were to take primes, I'm going Cub Swanson by a mile.
No question.
Yeah, I'm going Cub Swanson by a mile. I don't really understand the matchmaking here. Because they've got him fighting Hakeem Dawodu, who's much younger. He's a super powerful striker. He's got really good leg kicks. He was a guy that was just ranked, correct? He was just ranked at a division that Cub Swanson is coming up to fight him at.
Yeah, it's weird.
So like
Cub Swanson realistically should have retired after the Darren Elkins fight.
Right, probably
knocked him out, and Darren Elkins so hard to finish.
Yeah,
that's a great fight to go out on. So he could have had his Robbie Lawler moment.
And and that'd be amazing. For Cub Swanson, he recently, like, you see in some of his, more recent fights that he gets leg kicked a lot.
Yeah, Jonathan Martinez wrecked his leg.
Right, and Hakeem Dawodu throws super hard ass leg kicks.
And he's much taller.
Right, so technically, I just don't know how that's gonna work. I mean, Dawodu's younger, he's faster at this point. He has to be the pick. Cub Swanson's only option to win this fight really is to get a takedown and find a sub.
Is keep getting
takedowns.
Or
keep getting takedowns. Exactly. Yeah. And hold him there.
I don't even see the sub as much because he's like... I just feel like that's... He, for the first time, looked old.
Last time out.
Yeah,
you said that to me earlier, and I agree with you. I would love to see Cub Swanson, like you said, catch that dub right off into the sunset, have his Robbie Lawler moment, retire. But how often does that happen in this sport?
It's a brutal sport, my friend, and I fully agree with you. I'm going with Hakeem Dawodu. I don't think he'll get the finish, and I don't even know. My
cup is like dripping.
Mine is too.
Yeah,
that bitch is moist. I don't know if it's gonna be 29-28, 30-27, but I do see a Hakeem Dawodu decision. Did you say decision or finish?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that. Damn, why do I always feel like a pressure to like?
I always do.
Yeah, same.
I just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm pretty confident Hakeem Dawodu winning it. I would love to see Cub Swanson do it.
It'd be awesome.
I just don't see it. So.
And the odds are closer than I think they should be. Minus 250 for Hakeem. Plus 200 for Cub.
You think it should be more par?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'd give Dawodu, like, if I were making it, like a minus 350.
Wow.
Yeah. I love Cub Swanson.
That's heavy.
Yeah, but.
I kind of like the odds.
Okay.
Because Cub Swanson, I could see him doing the takedown thing.
That'd be really cool.
So, would it? It'd be boring. But anyway.
Yeah, but.
Moving on to the main event of the night. It's Vicente Luque versus Rafael dos Anjos. RDA. Man, this is a tough one, man. And news came out recently, and I think I mentioned earlier, is that after the Jeff Neal fight, Vicente Luque had a brain bleed. I really don't like to hear that. You never want to hear that about any fighter. I think that we've been overrating Vicente Luque, though. Like, we talked about a little bit earlier, me and you. When you go through his record, like, how many really great wins does he have, you know?
Yeah.
It was the Tyron Woodley win by Darce choke. The Darce thing, obviously, when you do, like, one thing really well, I feel like that gives you extra points in the public, you know? But when he beat Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley didn't win shit after that, like you said earlier, and then he beat Chiesa, but then he got dominated by Bilal Muhammad, lost to Jeff Neal, got absolutely wrecked, lost to Stephen Thompson. He's got wins over Randy Brown, Nico Price, you know, but Brian Barberena, like, I don't know. All the top competition, like, when we talk about Vicente Luque, I feel like it's understood almost amongst MMA fans that he's like top 6-7.
Agreed.
In the weight class, you know, in welterweight.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I just don't see it. Rafael dos Anjos, man, I just feel like he's the more dangerous guy. I see him working the takedowns. He's going to have the better grappling, in my opinion. And it's a 5-rounder, too, right? A lot of people forget. Dos Anjos was a champion. So, you know.
155.
And look at his record and the people that he's fought. He always puts on a show. The brain bleed thing, too, gives me a little bit of pause. I have to go with RDA in this one. I think it'll be probably by decision because Vicente Luque is really tough. But Yeah, I'll take the underdog. RDA is an underdog here all day, man.
Yeah. I'm absolutely shocked that Vicente Luque is the underdog here.
Me too. It's like, how does everybody know that? You know?
When this fight was announced, I just assumed it would be more of the same.
It must have been.
Everyone just being like, oh, Vicente Luque, like he gets hyped up super hard. And I agree with all the things you said about who Vicente Luque is as a fighter. I'm done with him. I'm done with picking Vicente Luque against anyone with like some, like a real
top
name.
5, top 6 guy.
Right,
Yeah.
and RDA is not a top 5, top 6 guy right now. No. But he's still a legend.
He looks good all the time.
Vicente Luque to me.
I'm gonna say RDA is a my boy.
I love RDA.
RDA is a my boy.
Let's get it.
And I wasn't a huge RDA guy
like back in
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Or more. In the last couple years, man.
He's grown on you.
Yeah.
I get it. To me, it's just like Vicente Luque fell off the face of the earth, right?
Big time.
That Bilal...
Was he ever really there?
Right. But we thought he was.
Right.
As an entire community.
Who did that?
I don't know who set that shit up.
Because I bought it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Vicente Luque. He's amazing. Yeah.
But then, to me, it was like really during that Bilal Muhammad fight where I was like, dude, like, go.
Yeah.
What is it? Like, Bilal's not... Like, Bilal's good. He's in the top 5.
Why are you scared to throw with Bilal?
Yeah, like your grappling is supposed to be good. We know you're better with the hands.
Oh my God, the striking, you should have been eons better.
That's what I'm saying. And it was like he just refused to throw and he seemed hesitant and scared of Bilal Muhammad. Like, what is he going to do? Beat you in a decision, right? That's what Bilal Muhammad does.
He's not dangerous.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't understand the thought process there. I think he's dangerously overrated. Like,
man, you're right.
To a very high level. I don't see it anymore with him. I think RDA is going to get the takedowns. I think he's going to choke him. There is a 7-year age discrepancy, but like I said, I'm not picking Vicente Luque anymore versus anyone that's solid. I look back at the record, 1 or 2 impressive wins.
That's it.
That's it, dude. He beat a bunch of average to below
Jalen
average
Turner
guys.
when he was like just coming up. I mean,
I don't get it, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it, dude.
I think we all made a mistake as a collective MMA community.
And we thought he was the better of the two between him and Gilbert Burns, who were like friends, right? And it's not even close. Gilbert Burns is significantly better than Vicente Luque.
Much bigger than him.
Right.
So.
Shout out Gilbert Burns. I miss him.
Me too.
Hope he recovers pretty damn quickly. Met his wife and kids in Vegas.
Oh, this last time?
Yes.
That's adorable.
They were with Pantoja's kids. And
That's
I didn't
adorable.
realize that they were Pantoja's kids till afterwards.
That's
or else
adorable.
I would have said something, like something about like, oh, good luck to your dad or some bullshit.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
They would have been like, we don't speak English, bitch. We're Brazilian.
Right. And I'm like, fala galera.
Bom dia.
Fight your piss, you're dead. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Right.
Anyway, that's all we got for you on this edition of the 10-7 MMA. Anything else you'd like to say?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, we would really appreciate it if you guys would leave a little thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, ring the little bell.
If you want to use your burner account to come talk shit in the comments,
Like
by the way, it's always him responding.
Not always, 90% of the time.
Pretty much
I've
always.
seen you respond.
I have responded, but mostly it's like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Right.
By the way, we love the sweet comments. Like somebody,
they make me feel so good.
What was the one that like you sent me the other day?
I don't remember, but it was really sweet.
It was like, just find your channels, like followed, and it's like,
right, this is so nice. Like, appreciate your content.
That's what I'm saying. I'll give you a little kiss
little pocket kisses or whatever you call them. You put them in your pocket.
Those are two different things, but
yeah.
But
okay.
Yes.
Who gives a shit? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Dino Bam Bam. He's DS. This is D107 MMA. Peace.